The City of Killeen will be funding 2 new positions just dedicated to fire hydrant inspections. This after a Channel 6 News investigation discovered no inspections had been happening for several years. Channel 6's Andrew Moore tells us what it took to get to this point. Good evening, Andrew.
Chris, Killeen's fire hydrants have failed first responders in times of need multiple times. Last year, it was a hydrant next to a house fire that didn't work. This year, it was a hydrant next to an apartment complex. And while the city said it restarted inspections last April, they didn't really have the staff they needed. But that is about to change. In May, Channel 6 found an email sent from the city water and sewer director to spokeswoman Hillary Shine that said the water department had been asking for a 2-person inspection crew for 6 years. They had been denied every time. We asked the mayor and multiple city council members if they had known those positions were needed, but they told me the subject had never come up. When we showed them the information we found, they said it would be brought up this year as a safety issue, but yesterday city manager Ron Olson told me that the funding was already in the budget for next year.
There'll be 2 employees added there.
And are they going to be specifically for hydrant maintenance, or is that going to be for other things?
Hydrant maintenance will be the focal point of their job.
A veteran living in Milam County who was facing fines by the DA's office for making changes to a floodplain might not have to pay anything after all.
After Channel 6 got involved, it seems that office has backed off. Channel 6's Andrew Moore tells us why.
They're going to fine me $500 a day for every day that the water was backed up on her.
The Milam County DA's office was going to fine John Reed for creating an earthen embankment on his property. They thought he built something to back up water on his neighbor.
They were looking for a dam or something.
Reed had instead dug out his creek to better control the water on his land, but it seemed no one had been on the ground to see what he actually did before sending that letter. So I walked the creek and showed the video to Assistant District Attorney Kyle Nuttall in January. The result?
Hey, there's plenty more to look into and review so that we can come to a positive resolution.
They pushed back the fine deadline. Around a month later, Reed says Nuttall told him the DA's office was backing off.
He was willing to, not take it to court.
But was it for good? Well, Nuttall isn't the only one who took a second look at the situation. County Judge Steve Young also checked out the property.
You're not supposed to dam up something and back up water on your neighbor, and that's what we thought had happened, but there is no dam across the ditch.
Reed did need to retroactively apply for a permit for the work he did do, but now
I'm under the impression that no further action is to be taken.
It looks like that deadline is gone for good.
It made a tremendous difference because they realized, like I said, you're going to put the camera on them.
Six News found the business had not started construction as of a week ago, and people had already bought season passes.
Yeah, handing over their hard-earned money. But now statements from 2 biologists have also created cause for concern. 6 News reporter Andrew Moore explains as the story continues to unfold. He joins us in studio. Hi, Andrew.
Guys, there are now several locals concerned about getting a refund from the business, but after speaking with 2 biologists about the story, we've discovered even more issues. You might be surprised how we found the first expert, and you will definitely be surprised how we found the second. It looked like a cool job opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah.
Vitalis Dubinicus has a bachelor's degree in marine biology from Hawaii Pacific University and a related master's of research from the University of Aberdeen. When he saw 7 Seas was hiring, that was exciting.
I want to help be basically a founder of the first public aquarium in Bell County.
But then he met curator Fidel Junco and saw the space. One red flag was the timeline.
So it's a total of 5 people building a whole public aquarium in 3 weeks, so it's quite impossible.
And another red flag was the way Junco planned to filter the water. The public was going to touch the animals, and Dubinicus said the ozone Junco was using would not be enough to keep the fish alive.
And eventually, the oils from the hands, the food crumbs, those would build up. So I'd probably say within a month, you're going to start to see a lot of mortalities.
But Dubinicus wasn't the only scientist wanting to distance himself from the project. When 6 News requested documents Junco sent to the city, we received this letter of recommendation for Junco from a Jeff Foster with Marine Research Consultants.
But when we tracked Foster down, he said the letter was fake.
I did not write the letter, and I wasn't aware that he used my signature on that letter either. I'm shocked to see that my name was on that recommendation.
Foster has met Junko, but never endorsed him and wasn't sure of his credentials.
I've worked with reptiles before, and but I'm not sure about any other animal species.
And previous projects have also not panned out for Junko. Dubinicus found his name attached to an article in Panama, America, that said Junko had once left 500 spiders at an airport in Mexico. And we found multiple articles about multi-million-dollar projects with his name on it that were never completed. Dubinicus doesn't think this is a scam, but says Junko is in way over his head.
This guy, I don't think, has the qualifications to do, or at least create a public aquarium. It's quite a big task.
6 News is still willing to hear Junko's explanation for all of this, but he still has not called us back. We are asking the city if the forged recommendation will impact his ability to do business in Temple.